If the valve is to be commissioned over its full stroke, the Quick Setup Wizard is a fast and efficient way to set the end of travel limits. Click on Quick Setup Wizard after establishing the Bluetooth connection. Initiating an auto setup will move the valve through its full stroke. You can name the actuator for ease of identification in the field. The motor-operated valve tag will appear when you search for an actuator during the Bluetooth connection process. Set the state when the shaft extends. Here it closes when it extends. Here you set the maximum amount of thrust for the directions of travel. Decide if that thrust is to be used for opening and closing. This will apply a set thrust to the valve stem at the end of travel for a valve tight shutoff, as opposed to limit, which will stop the actuator at a set limit, but without the tight shutoff. You must ensure that these thrust, shaft action and end stop settings are correctly set, or damage to the valve may occur. Select the Start button to save the changes and initiate the auto startup. Move the selector knob to the Run position. Caution: initiating an auto limit will move the valve through its full stroke. Ensure thrust, shaft action and end stops are correctly set, or damage to the valve may occur. If the valve is not capable of accepting thrust in the open direction, use the Fixed Limit function. Auto Limit will initiate the auto setting procedure. Fixed Limit will allow the actuator to find the closed limit by measuring the thrust, but will allow the open limit to be set at a measured distance. The distance can be edited in the text box. Note: ensure that limit is selected for the open stop if Fixed Limit is applied. The following steps are fully automatic and require no user input. During this process, all other menus will be disabled. Click on the OK button to continue. The actuator will move its output shaft to the maximum extended limit of travel to find the extended, closed limit. Next, the actuator will move its output shaft back to the extended position at low speed to eliminate any inertia effects and readjust the end of travel limit as necessary. The extended position limit is now set. Once the extended limit has been set, the actuator will now retract its output shaft to locate the furthest retracted, open, limit of travel. When the limit of travel is reached, the actuator will move away from the furthest retracted position by 1%. The actuator will now move its output shaft back to the retracted position at slow speed to eliminate any inertia effects and readjust the end of travel limit as necessary. The retracted position limit is now set. Auto setup is now complete, and both ends of travel tight shutoff limits have been defined and set. The PDA screen will now return to the Quick Setup menu. The actuator can now be operated manually using the PDA. If no further settings are required, move the mode selector to the Stop or Run positions, dependent on the desired operation.